My name is John Lough, and I'm primarily a chromatographer, but I'm also what you might call an educator. Well, interestingly, it's not drug bioanalysis, because over the years working in a pharmaceutical science department as the analyst, you get involved in all different kinds of projects, and it can be really interesting. But of late I've decided it'd be best to concentrate on some particular aspects of chromatography and be a lot more focused. That's to help my research, but in terms of being an educator, it's really important to get out to meetings, particularly like this Reid meeting, to look at all the current application problems and new approaches and what are the regulatory challenges facing people working in industry. So I'm talking about what we do in Sunderland to try and get people ready to go into the pharmaceutical industry, and in particular as drug bioanalysts. And also, importantly, I'll be saying to the audience, well, what they can do, because the companies themselves could play an important role in developing the curriculum and influencing students just by engaging more with universities, and they could do that in a very simple, cheap way, and they don't have to throw money at it. Well, the next steps for our university, the steps we've already made, is to move from a chemical and pharmaceutical science course to a biopharmaceutical science course, so keeping up to date with what's happening with modern drugs, with more biologics being used. But students going into industry need a kind of broad base of scientific knowledge, so we're also bringing on a biochemistry stream and medicinal chemistry stream to that degree. Where I hope we'll be with that is having moved away from just training graduates to go into industries to a wider collaboration with employers. For example, with our MSc courses, we produce good quality courses, but we attract overseas students, but people tend not to go into MScs, although that has improved with the new sort of loans being available for people doing postgraduate study. But we want to widen the accessibility to these courses by involving other people to contribute to the course content, but also to make it much easier for people to do part-time study, because continuing professional development is really important. In terms of getting employer engagement, they're always looking for an immediate return. One of the things we'll be talking about is how valuable industrial placements are, and companies tend not to see that as a long-term commitment. They think, well, if we can afford it, we might do it and fit into the budget this year, but really it should be a long-term part of the recruitment program to get the right talent. Very much so. It's one of the best conferences you could go to. I like coming myself because if I go to a chromatography conference, I've often heard a lot of the stuff already, but what I like about this is they're talking about real problems and they're discussing it with their peers, and they're not afraid to admit when things are difficult and things are a real problem, and there's a genuine exchange of ideas, and there's a little drug bioanalysis community here, and they're very much together, and there's nice ethos about the meeting and a good friendliness about it as well, and supportive nature of the whole conference. So I think what is very important is how things have changed. I was very lucky, because when I was doing my PhD, HPLC was in its infancy, and I've gone a long way just on HPLC small molecules, but future PhD students aren't going to be so lucky, because things are changing so rapidly. So I'd advise them to keep a broad skill set and keep expanding their knowledge, because you never know when you might have to change to do something different.